What is up, YouTube? It's Joker777, and I know this is not usually the quality of video that I put out, but my camera batteries are officially dead, and they're charging right now, but I wanted to get a couple of videos out there just because I haven't put any out in a month, and so I'm going to be doing a movie review, and this one is a particularly interesting one, just because it's a movie that came out in June of 2013, and I just now saw it in January of 2014. It's an indie film, but I think it's one that you shouldn't pass up. It's Drinking Buddies. Now, Drinking Buddies centers around these two main characters played by Olivia Wilde and Jake Johnson. And essentially, it's about their relationship as friends and all the different many stages of friendships that friendships go through, particularly one that involves both a male and a female. Right off the bat, I'm going to go ahead and tell you this is an absolutely amazing movie. I enjoyed this movie from start to finish. It was an hour and a half long, so it wasn't too long. I wish it was longer, but I'll get into the details of it. So the first thing I think, we'll start with the bad stuff, and then we'll go into the good. Let's end on a positive note, shall we? So the bad things was that this movie ending was kind of bad. It's one of those endings where it just kind of ends, and there's kind of a resolution, but there's not really. But it's an okay ending, but it ends they just cut it off. It's hard to explain really, because it's an ending that's satisfying to the film, but it's not exactly one that you would want to, it's not the way I would have ended it. They could have gone so many more different routes, and this ending felt more like a cop-out than an actual ending did, and so that's one of the things I had to knock off for. But really, that's pretty much the only thing that I found wrong with it. If something else pops up, I'll be sure to mention it, as I'm pretty sure, because I do this off the top of my head as the camera starts to shake very violently like I'm in the middle of an earthquake. What did I like about this film? I loved everything about this film. First of all, let's go ahead and get some of the performances out of the way. So I told you Jake Johnson and Olivia Wilde. Then you have Anna Kendrick, you have Ron Livingston, and you have Jason Sudeikis. All of these performances are phenomenal. Jason Sudeikis is only in there for maybe like 10 minutes, not the whole movie, but he does a pretty good job. Really, the four main characters are Olivia, Jake, Anna Kendrick, and Ron Livingston. But every time I see Ron Livingston, I always see him as Peter from Office Space. Like, I think Bill Lumbergh is just about to come right around the corner and start asking him, can he work this weekend or something like that. Oh, and then they'll probably come around the corner with a red stapler as well. But for those of you who haven't seen Office Space, it's a good movie. But these performances were stellar. They're out of the park, especially Jake Johnson. Jake Johnson really surprised me in this. A lot of people know him as kind of a comedic actor, and I'm looking at it right now, and it says genre, drama, comedy, and romance. This isn't really a comedy. This is more of a drama. This is more of a dramatic movie. It does have some little chuckle moments here and there, but it's not a comedic movie. So if you're going to watch it for comedy, I would suggest not to watch it for the comedy, but if you enjoy, a dramatic film, if you enjoy good films, this is a film you should probably see. But Jake Johnson absolutely just killed it. And it's so funny because you see him on New Girl, and he's a comedic character. You wouldn't think he'd be able to play a role like this, but he does. And Olivia Wilde is great, and their on-screen chemistry is absolutely great. I love watching Olivia and Jake Johnson together. Anna and Ron, they give solid performances for their things, but really Olivia and Jake are the better on-screen couple. And once again, Jake Johnson, easily my favorite performer in the entire thing. The one thing about this film that got me more than anything, it's an indie film. And indie films to me can be a lot better than some of the stuff that comes out, the number of sequels that come out year after year in theater. The same franchises we see over and over again, reboots and remakes and all that good stuff. This is what I like about indie film. Indie films have the ability to connect to real life. And the reason why I say it is because all these characters can remind us of someone in our day-to-day lives. And this is a story about, day-to-day life with normal people. And the one way you see it is in the dialogue. Like, most movies, like one person will talk, and the next person will talk, and the next person will talk. But that's not real life. In real life, people cut each other off, they talk while other people are talking. And indie film, they portray this by having, actors talking at the same time. And that, to me, is just a sign of good filmmaking when you can bring realistic world elements into it. You don't just have to have, one guy talking and then another guy talking and then taking turns. This movie does that. It plays the dialogue off as, a regular everyday conversation, which I love. And most importantly, the theme of this movie is what got me. The theme of this movie basically is know when to say when, know when to cut it, especially when it comes to relationships, because I feel that in society today, we'll oftentimes stay with a person, even if it means we're not truly happy. And this film really shows us that, you can't do that. You can't be in something that you're not happy with. And if you do that, then you're really just hurting both you and the other person that's involved, because it's not fair to them to be wanting to make you happy, but they're never going to be able to. And that's really prevalent throughout this movie. It's all about, learning when is enough enough. Like, when do you finally just want to, just take the step. And sure, people are going to get hurt, hearts are going to get broken, but at the same time, you have to look out for the best interest of everyone that's in the relationship and everyone, outside of the relationship. Because if you don't take that chance and you don't go after the one that you really want and the one person you want to be happy with, then you're never going to get anywhere in life. And that to me was probably like the biggest main factor about this film. I love that it presented, these actors with everyday normal lives, and the actors and actresses absolutely killed it in their performances. I love the theme of the movie. I love the feeling of the movie. I love the dialogue. Like I said, it was a bit on the short side, and the ending was kind of a weak ending. It was kind of a cop out. They could have done so many more things with it. It was an ending I didn't see coming, just because I thought they were going to go one way with it, which is one way they could have gone, but they went for the cop out ending. So overall, I love this film. It's an indie film, which I don't really see indie films too much, only because they're not promoted like any of the blockbuster titles are out there. But I think indie films deserve a place for everyone to watch. They're great films, especially this one. I give this one an A minus, just because, like I said, the ending is kind of a cop out and it is kind of short. So if you're perusing around on Netflix, it is on Netflix, and if you have seen it, just give it a try. I guarantee you, I highly recommend this film. If you're a fan who loves dramas, if you like great acting, if you like great storytelling, you'll love this film. I give it an A minus, and I highly recommend that you check it out. But that is just my opinion of the movie, as this is what this channel is for. It's for reviews and my opinions on stuff. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and cut this here. Once again, I apologize for the quality. If you're a new viewer, this is not the usual quality of videos that I have. If you want to stop by the channel, check out some other videos that I have, and maybe next time I'll have full-blown batteries ready so I can film back with my old camera in my old usual location. This isn't my usual location. There's not a giant star behind me usually whenever I film. But anyways, guys, I'm going to get out of here. Be sure to comment, like, and subscribe if you're new to the channel. And as always, I'm Joker777, and I will see you guys later.